Maybe we can remember a story from the family in Europe. Can you remember something?
Interesting?
Yeah. Anything doesn't have to be so interesting. Well, something.
Well, we were talking about it.
Yeah, last time we said a few things. We talked about the time you went with Rebush to the mikveh.
Yeah.
Remember, she came in town because the mikveh was in your town. So she came to your town.
Yeah. Why did she come to my town? Maybe there was something wrong with the
The
mikveh
mikveh over there? I don't know. Could be.
I don't know either, but she came to the mikveh.
What was the story you told me by Yom Kippur?
I remember that like today. What was Yom Kippur?
Wasn't there a story that your father davened Shliach Tzibor and
he was the one who we didn't have but we had a shamas.
You didn't have a Baal Tefillah.
Well, he was the Baal
Tefillah.
My daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy was a very big macher there in temple. You know, he was they honored him very much for his knowledge and for his age and for his everything. And when there came a very important prayer to be said, he said that. For instance, Kol Nidre. Well, I don't remember now very well Kol Nidre, who did it, or somebody from shul or daddy, but I know that daddy did say the main, when it came. There must be one prayer on Yom Kippur that is very touchy. Which one would be that?
Hang on.
In the evening.
Yeah.
But during the day there is one prayer that is very, very heartwarming and very touchy. And that one was my daddy.
Yeah.
And then my mother was kind of afraid. He was an older man, that he was saying that with such a feeling that God forbid something might happen to him, or I don't know what. Anyway, she sent us down, and you know how they have those, what do you call those?
Stenders.
The what?
It's a stender.
That you put a prayer book on top, and you stand there and pray from it.
Right.
And we two children, me and Ethel, on one side me and on one side her, and people were looking, well, they knew about his children, but still an old man, such young children. But my mother sent us down to be there with him, to watch over him, kind of. What could we have done? We were little girls that time, almost looked like twins, me and my sister. And we went down there and we were saying while he was through. Oh, we were so proud of him. We were on one side we had the Humma, and the other side I was walking down with him, and we were in 7th Heaven. And we walked down the street with Daddy in 7th Heaven.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe it, that that's my
I think you're his grandchildren.
Great grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my daddy. Yeah, we had a good. I'm gonna be written down maybe in the cavalcade in the Jewish news.
Really?
Yeah, because there is a guy here whose sister I went to school with, and she came to this country before us, and I wrote her a letter. I wished her lots of luck here in this country. And he found that letter somehow, it's all torn. It's only just already the last 2 lines maybe.
Oh.
But he wanted to know what it is, so he brought it over to show it to me, He knew that I went to school with her, that we were very good friends. And lo and behold, that letter was from me, written to her. I didn't know, I forgot that we were talking German at home.
Oh.
and Hungarian only in school,
Oh.
you know. And I wrote her in German, and I wished her good luck and everything, not too much because it was missing already. And then I signed Ilona, my name, Ilona.
Uh-huh.
And so he brought his aunt who writes in the Jewish news. Do you ever read the Jewish news?
Yeah.
Cavalcade,
Yeah.
Viola Spivak.
Yeah.
Well, when it will be in there, I'll cut it out anyway. So she came over and she took notes. That letter was written in 1905 to her, to her that time. And then we came to this country, and when we came to this country, I know that our first stop was to her parents to go and see her, and her parents too, you know.
Uh-huh.
And we went over there, and we were very happy, you know, to be with them for a while, and so he knows me. So the other day we had here the dinner, and you could invite a tenants association. They wanted to thank the tenants and who were very helpful. So they made a dinner, and he invited that lady who writes in the paper and her husband for dinner. You could invite people if you wanted to. You could come and have your dinner anytime with me, because that's kosher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, he was. So when she saw me, she jumped up from the table and came and kissed me, and she says, "It will be in the paper, but I didn't have a chance yet, you know." She writes, but it's going to be a write-up. So when I see the write-up, then I'll show it.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
You know.
Do you remember when you came over? Do you remember the boat ride
The-
over here?
The what?
The boat ride from
Yeah,
Europe.
Rotterdam.
You took the Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How
Came
long of a
to
trip
Rotterdam.
was it?
Huh?
How long of a trip was it?
A trip? I don't know. It took a while.
A week?
About.
Yeah.
We had one away, and poor Ethel was so sick, and there were guys that ran after her. She was so beautiful. I remember one fellow came and brought her a bottle of perfume, but she wouldn't accept it. And we were there with an older lady. She was with us, you know. I said, well, so the woman, she had more seichel than we did. She says, well, if they don't want it, she will take it. Now, how can he refuse not to give it to her? So he gave it to her. Because we didn't want to take anything from strangers, you know.
Yeah.
Once we went in the coupe in the train, and there was a soldier there, but he had a rank already, but he started to be a little bit too smart. Right away we changed, and we went in another place. We didn't want to stay there where he is, because it was started to be a little bit fresh, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, Ethel, she was so beautiful. So when the guys saw her, but if they treated her nice, they did. She was very sick on the boat, and from the first class, we came second class. From the first class, the guys brought her, everyone bought her something, whether she would like to have it. But she was so sick that, what you call sickness is a terrible sickness.
The
I'm
boat,
telling you.
yeah.
She didn't want nothing, and I was so worried. I was so worried that she didn't feel good, but we made it. She was laying around most of the time. She was so sick.
Yeah.
Seasick.
Right.
I was only seasick when I was inside my cabin. The minute I came on deck and I had fresh air, I was all right. So I was outside all the time anyway with her.
Yeah. Where did you meet Papa?
Huh?
Where did you meet Papa?
Who?
Where did you meet Papa?
I?
Yeah.
We Hungarian got together. We had, wherever there was a Hungarian, we tried to get together, you know.
Uh-huh.
And so he was between the crowd in the Hungarian, the club, you know. Did you read your mother, no, not your mother, Suzu's?
Oh, yeah.
Did you read that?
Yeah.
My immigrant.
Meet the Immigrants.
Huh?
Meet the Immigrants is the name of it.
What?
Meet the Immigrants, it's called.
Yeah, meet the immigrants. It's very nice the way
Yeah.
she writes it. So, so that's how I met him somewhere. Somebody introduced him, and then we had a crowd already. You know, those who sympathized with each other. We had a little crowd. Little by little, we had added all the time to our crowd because Ethel and his husband, we weren't so very crazy because he was a show. He was a civil engineer, and he wanted you to know how much education he had and whatnot. And so we didn't care much for him, but he was a civil engineer. He made a good living, and she liked it. So he was a nice guy, otherwise only a little show. So she married him, and I met and I was going around with Eugene. They started to date me with Daddy, and then finally, you know, finally we were dating and going up. Finally, he proposed, and I was head over heels in love with him anyway. But he didn't know it, you know. I wasn't sure. He didn't know it. I loved the guy. He was a very fine fellow, very quiet, you know, nice. Exactly the opposite of me. Maybe that's what liked in me.
Opposites attract, they say.
Yeah. Or maybe that's what he liked in me because I put a little life into his life, you know. But I couldn't do much with him. He liked to work most of the time. He was always busy finding himself. He had his garden, but he was happy in doing it, and so that's all what cared. And if I realized that yesterday we were talking with one woman, and she said how old her husband was. My husband was he was 80 years old when he died, so that was, thanks God for little favors. I was a pretty good age that time, but naturally I missed him.
Sure.
But I didn't know that I'm going to live that long. How did I know that I'm going to live such a long life and suffer? Suffer too because I missed him too so much. You know.
Yeah,
so
that's what happens.
That
the ladies outlive the men.
That made a difference. You know.
Yeah.
And that what made me sick. But never would I have thought that I'm going to live that long.
The Einhard.
I don't know if people live longer now than then. They
Sure.
died at that time. They were ancient already. They were 80. Somebody died 80. It wasn't too bad.
Right.
But now, I didn't think that I will be the one who will live. I have to be the one. No?
No.
So what am I going to do? Argue with God? Yeah, I tell him when I go to sleep, he should already lay me next to. I tell him his Jewish name, Yitzhak. That's a good thing. I broke my head until I finally realized what his Jewish name was. And I tell him, Shemal Burak, Boyna Shalom, put me next to my husband. He is Yitzhak Baruch. And I'm Leah Baruch, and I give him the whole story, and I tell him everything that I would like to be next to him already because I'm very tired and sick. Either give me a refuah shalem or put me down there. So I have to wait what he's going to decide.
You have to wait till I get married and I have some children for you to play with.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Right?
No. As much as I would like to, I wouldn't have any choir to play.
Well, we'll bring him over.
But I would like to see you married.
Eretz Hashem.
That I would like to see, if nothing else, at least while I'm here.
That's right.
So then would be my,
Schia.
yeah, that would be a skier. Well, I have granddaughter. I have a married granddaughter, Leslie,
And Sydney.
in Sydney,
And Nancy.
and Nancy, yeah, Kamahora.
3.
And you will be my grandson, also.
That's
You
right.
Yeah, you are a grandson too. So you see, so you should make that. Well, that has something to do with marry. I mean, they try to marry you off young. And so how come that you for a former mensch that this is already old?
Yeah, but I started late. I didn't become a Fruma Mensch until I was already 23.
Oh, yeah, so that's mine.
So, all right.